So before we get started, I just want to poll the audience. Who is in sales leadership? Raise your hand. Okay, that's good. Okay, awesome. And then who's a sales development rep or more individual contributors? Awesome, great. Rowdy bunch up front. Who's your manager? Just kidding. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how we did at Workato. We increased our lead conversion by 5x. And I'm going to walk through what our problem statement was, what our pain points were, and how we went about solving that lead conversion problem that we're having. All right. So I am old, and I'm not afraid to say it. And back in the day when I was an SDR, we had a couple of methods that leads could come in. We had request for demo and maybe like a content download. But now there's so many different avenues where a lead can come in, download, content, request for demo, free trial, blogs, events, webinars, now chat with Drift and Intercom, which is very, very cool. So this becomes a problem for an SDR when they're faced with information coming from all sorts of different avenues and understanding how to respond back to the customer. And all of these leads have different hotnesses. So if we see over here like website leads, for example, if you request for a demo, in my mind, that's the hottest lead, and we want to get back to those individuals as fast as possible. If someone's perusing your pricing page, that might be warm. If someone's at your career page, maybe not so hot, and you don't want to reach out to them. You know, if we go further down this chain, ebook downloads, these are really important. If someone's downloading a competitive piece of content from your company, you know that buyer is researching your company and other companies. So you want to get in front of them as soon as possible. Come on in, there's room at the front, don't be shy, it won't bite. And then, webinars, we can go across the stack, but like there's definitely all different levels of hotnesses, different levels of leads coming in. And then to build on top of that, there's different levels of responsiveness that we want to give to our leads. So again, request for demo, ideally we'd want to respond to them within 5 minutes. Why do we want to respond to them within 5 minutes? Can anybody answer that? Yep.
Well, they're probably still in front of their computer.
That's right. Yeah, and they still have your company, like for Workato, they would still have Workato on their mind, even if they left the website. They'll know who you are if you pick up the phone and call them. For an event, if you talk to somebody at your booth today and they have an urgent need for a product, why don't, instead of scanning them, we actually book a meeting on the show floor? Not enough people do this. So this is something we are really striving towards. Ebooks, for example, I had a lot of reps in the past who responded to ebooks right when they got the lead in. Why is that not a good idea? Right, they haven't read it yet. So we want to make sure that we're responding to leads in an appropriate fashion. And this was not happening at Workato. The other thing that we were noticing was leads would come in where we would already have opportunities in flight. So the SDR would be contacting those leads, but an AE would be already down the pipeline or the sales cycle with that specific lead. Or existing customers would come in from different departments requesting a demo, and our SDRs just didn't have all of that knowledge of what was happening. All they saw was the lead, and they would respond without all of that information. So to build on top of that, we have all of these different tools. The data is split across all of the systems, and you would think Marketo talks to Salesforce, Salesforce talks to Outreach. So you would think that there would be a single source of truth somewhere, like in Salesforce, for example, but it's not often the case. Like if a lead comes into Marketo, you get all of the data behind that lead, like where did it originate? When was the first time the lead came in? What avenue did they come in? Not all of those fields actually transition to Salesforce if you don't have it mapped correctly. And then on to Outreach. My SDRs live in Outreach. So they don't know where the lead came from. They don't know whether it's a hot lead or not, and they don't know what the previous touch points were. So they would have to go back into Marketo, into Salesforce, then back into Outreach to try to figure out all of these idiosyncrasies. Does this make sense so far? Okay. And this was painful. This is some kind of wheel emoji that I put in. I probably could have picked a better picture. Okay, so, and then researching. To build on top of that, researching takes time. So now we have tools like Discover.org and Zoom Info and LinkedIn. If a lead comes in with just a wonky email address, the SDR has to leave Salesforce, go to Discover.org or LinkedIn to try to find that contact information, or to understand, you'd go to LinkedIn Navigator to see where they were before, how long they've been in that current role, so that when the SDR calls the prospect, they have all the information they need to have an intelligent conversation with that person. And then Salesforce, you'd find, is this lead hot? Are they already customer? Are we in flight with an opportunity? Is somebody already speaking with them? Like, we had no communication between the AEs, the SDRs, and the marketing team. So this is something we really needed to change, because our conversion rates were very poor. So 77% of the time, we could not get in touch with the lead at a timely manner. And I didn't put this metric up here, but our lead conversion rate was really bad. And I'm talking about if somebody comes and requests a demo, we were converting 16% of the time. So if 100 people came in, we were only converting 16 of those 100 into a meeting. Why? And I was trying to get to the bottom of this. Like, why are people who are requesting a demo ghosting us? There's something wrong with the process. So we really had to dig in and to figure out how we could build a system that could enrich leads, gauge hotness, prioritize the leads, route the leads to the SDRs who are available at that time, because SDRs aren't always, at their desk. Sometimes they're at a trade show, or, they're, in meetings. So that was something that was very important, because if an SDR is not available, they're not responding to a lead right away. And we wanted to, arm our SDRs with as much context and intelligence as possible, so that they could have great conversations with the prospects and convert leads faster. Welcome to LeadBot. So this is what we developed at Workato. It's called LeadBot, and I'm going to go into it a little bit. Who uses Slack here? Raise your hands. Okay, awesome. Who uses a different type of chat, like Microsoft Teams? Okay, so this example we can run with Teams, but I'm going to show it in Slack. Okay, this is what LeadBot looks like. Super cool. Isn't it cool? So the SDR, when they get a lead, they get pinged in Slack, and they can see all of this information. They can see, we use these fire emojis because we have this hotness criteria already defined. For us, it's 200 employees or more, with a solid use case. So this is the actual use case that the lead filled out. They want to integrate ServiceNow and Jira, and they want to integrate ServiceNow and Slack. Great, we can do that. So right away, within like a millisecond, the SDR knows, okay, this is a hot lead, here's the use case, I want to see more. So they just show more, it expands, and they can actually, what we've done is we've integrated with Slack, Salesforce, Clearbit, LinkedIn, and the website, all of this data enrichment. So they can see who the company is, how many employees they have, who the person is, what their title is, all of the Clearbit data, their app stack, which is really important for us specifically, because if we want to cross-sell or sell across different verticals within the company, then we know exactly what they're using and their phone number. And then a really cool thing here is that if you look at the top, do I have like a, oh, yes. Okay, so if you look at the top, they can click right here, and it will go straight to Outreach, which is where they would live. Once they see all this information, click to Outreach, make a phone call. Does that make sense?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So when you guys are pulling that enriched data,
Yeah.
For us at our company, we focus specifically on like technologies we use, not really app stack. So like more of like AWS or EC.
Yep, you can.
Sort of thing.
Yep.
Does that also pull that data?
Absolutely. So that data is actually available in Discover.org so we can pull that data from Discover.org. Yeah. We use Clearbit, but Discover.org also can integrate. Sure.
What are you asking for up front on your initial lead form that they're filling out that you can pull in the ServiceNow, like the Jira and the Slack?
Yeah, I think it's what applications you're looking to integrate. My team's right here, is that correct? Yes, I'm getting nods. So it would be name, email, and what applications you're looking to integrate. And it's almost 90% of the time, they respond to that question.
Just going back to your first point regarding opportunities in play,
Yep.
Will this handle lead to account matching too? Let's say if it's another vertical or and you already have an opportunity with an AE, would that also notify the person in Slack, or is it just
Yeah, so you'll actually see it here if there's an opportunity in flight, and then the SDR can transfer that lead to the AE. And I'll show you in the next slide what that looks like.
how accurate is the data that you're pulling out of Discover or other data sources?
It's as accurate as it is in those sources. So, I mean, we really like Clearbit. We find that Clearbit is super accurate. We like LinkedIn. Navigator is very accurate. Discover.org updates their information, I think, every 6 months. So that's why we use multiple different sources so that we can just see what's the best one out of all of them. But the most important part here is that the SDR can see all this information at one time within seconds, so they can prioritize how they want to handle this lead. Okay, this is probably my favorite part about LeadBot. Before accepting this lead, if this was a crappy lead, this is Disney, so it's not a crappy lead, but if this was like mom and pop shop, 3 employees, really not in our wheelhouse, we could actually disqualify this lead straight from Slack. The SDR does not even need to go into Salesforce. Disqualify, Slack talks to Salesforce and actually disqualifies that lead in Salesforce. Another cool thing is reassign. I've got SDRs in the US, I've got SDRs in EMEA, I've got SDRs in APAC. If a lead that comes in, from APAC during SDR hours, they can reassign it to the APAC team right from Slack. And when that APAC SDR comes in the morning, he can reach out. He'll get a ping in Slack saying that he has a lead that he needs to reach out to. And then the third part here is low fit. So there are some leads that are probably okay, maybe like an SMB lead for us specifically, that we want a low fit. So we can actually click low fit, and that would automatically tag them to a sequence in Outreach that we call our low fit sequence, where we throw price in front of them so that they, if they're really serious, then they'll come back after that nurture campaign. But it's not a lead that we just want to spend time talking to at the moment. So we can do all this right from Slack, which I think is super cool, and it saves the team a ton of time.
If, say like another person, like an AE or something, owns the account in Salesforce, but a whole new lead comes in, will then it direct that to the account owner, or would it go based on like an SDR round robin or something like that?
Yeah, so the first thing that happens is the SDRs are round robin the leads. They get the lead, and if they see that there's already an account owner, like we have, what's it called? Our routing rules. We have routing rules. So the SDR will look at the routing sheet and transfer that to the proper AE.
Within this to have the routing law set up to where if the account is owned by an AE or is owned by somebody else, it would automatically route to them, or is it automatically around?
I'm sure there is, but that's not what we do. Yeah, we like to manually route it to the AEs.
Do the SDRs then don't use emails to sift through the leads? It's all in Slack.
It's all in Slack. No email, all in Slack. And I can even pull up my Slack and show you guys what it looks like. The other thing that's awesome is that we found that SDRs, I mentioned this before, they were coming in and they didn't have, they maybe weren't at their desk, and then they were getting leads. And then the response time was like 2 hours later after their meeting. They're like, oh, I got a lead, and it's a request for demo, and it's super hot. Now I'm gonna do all my research on all these different tools, and then I'm gonna respond back. What LeadBot does is as soon as you come in the morning and you're ready to start accepting leads, you can hit start accepting leads, and that's when LeadBot knows that you're on and you're ready and you're at your desk and you're going to respond right away. So these guys and gals are on a 8 to 5, and somebody always has to be on LeadBot. So not everyone goes for lunch together. Someone always has to be on, and that's how we can get to leads fast, and that's how I know as a manager that somebody is on all the time and that the prospect is getting really good service. And then they can stop accepting leads whenever they want if they go for lunch. This is probably relates to the AE question that you were asking. If there's an existing op, the SDR will get notified and they can route that lead directly to the AE. This is something else that you can do with LeadBot. Not only is it great for inbound leads, it's also great for working at the booth. So if you're at a show and you don't want to use the lead scanner that's been given to you, and you're having a really great, like Cole and I are having a really great conversation, and he has a use case, why would I scan him and email him 3 days later? I want to book a meeting with him right now on the show floor. So we both have our phones out, we're looking through our calendar. I'm like, Friday 9, he's like, yes. We schedule a meeting. I add this lead bot email address right here to that, and that triggers LeadBot to go create a contact in Salesforce or look to see if Cole's already a contact in Salesforce, and also creates an opportunity, because for us that's a stage 0 opportunity. We talk to the person, there's something happening, let's do it right away. So I strongly encourage, if you guys don't have LeadBot or I strongly encourage to at least start booking meetings on the show floor. It's really helped us with conversions. Okay, so with all this, it now takes SDRs under 4 minutes to reach out. And like maybe Nicole, if you want to just give like one line on like when you reach out to somebody in under 4 minutes, like what do they say to you normally? Yeah, it's creepy, but people love it. Like we get this all the time that, oh my God, that was fast, or I'm still on your website. It's super awesome. And we've seen a 5x improvement on our conversions to meetings. And we've seen a 2x reduction on ramp time. And what I mean by ramped and new SDR ramp time is that the new SDRs don't have to learn everything they need to know about Discover, everything they need to know about LinkedIn, everything they can actually just do it all through LeadBot. And I hired an SDR a couple months ago, and within 3 days he was taking leads on LeadBot, and it was really awesome. Okay, so we hacked this using Workato, which is our platform, and it took our ops person 1 month to build this initial version, and we've iterated it. We built this in February, April, something like that, and it's been working amazing ever since. Just a little bit about Workato. We were founded in 2013, and we're funded by Workday, Salesforce, and ServiceNow. And this is just to show you that we have all these different departments with all of these different applications, and oftentimes nobody's talking to each other, or just like IT and product are talking to each other, and sales and marketing are talking to each other. So automation and integration is becoming more and more important. And if you spend 5% of your tech stack budget on automation, you will see a significant lift on productivity, on conversion rates, on your whole company communicating end to end. And I have a little video, which oh. Okay. Okay. I don't see it.
Oh, in the presentation?
Yeah. I hope it works.
Naureen, I have a question for you while we're launching the video. Mm-hmm. How long did it take for you from launching LeadBot to seeing your SDRs use it? Like, how long was that ramp up time from 1x to then 5x?
I mean, they really had no choice, because the leads started to come into Slack versus being in their emails with other emails, and they had to filter through. So
it was overnight?
It was literally like night and day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's on this slide, but if it doesn't work, it's not a big deal.
I don't see it coming up.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. This is just a video. It's Stefan Franchetti, who's the head of business systems at Slack, and he was at Workday previously, and how he changed his entire sales and marketing team through automation and integration, and how important that is for companies nowadays. So I guess we'll just skip. There's a couple slides I just wanted to skip. Here we go. So Workato currently has 4,200 customers across all different verticals, all different sizes, who truly believe that automation is the way to go. And we're at the top leaderboard on the Gartner and Forrester charts both. And that's it. I hope you guys saw some value in LeadBot, and even if you don't purchase LeadBot, some of the tips and tricks that I was recommending, please use them to make your team more efficient. And I'm here. Please come up to me after. I'm open. add me to LinkedIn, email me. I'm always around. I'm located in the Bay Area, so yeah, thanks.
Do we have any final questions? Oh, we go.
Do you use like Drift or intercom system? How does that integrate with that?
Yeah, it integrates with both. We use intercom currently, and yep, so the lead will come in through LeadBot.
Like chat in through one of those,
Correct.
still pop in the same way.
Correct. Yep, the lead flows the same way no matter what avenue the lead comes in.
Speaking on integrations, is it just outreach or also like tying into group or sales lots on the
Almost anything. Yeah, we connect with over like 500 applications. Yeah.
With the disqualification of leads, because tools have margin of error, like, do they just click for there, or do they actually do a little research before they click?
Oh, yeah. They do a lot of research before they reject. Yeah, absolutely. Because I look at every single lead, so. Yeah. And they get paid by opportunity, so it's in their best interest to actually do some research, and yeah.
I'm a big fan of Slack, but I do notice that sometimes like things can get lost in there with the notifications. Have you seen that on your team at all about things falling through the cracks?
I double check everything just in case, but I know what you're saying because I get inundated with Slack, maybe not so much through LeadBot, but just with Slack chat, and they need to improve their search functionality. But I haven't seen it through LeadBot because you also need a manager to double check to make sure that all the leads are getting assigned. And if something breaks, which it happens, we have a lot of technology running all the time, then I can see if a lead didn't get routed properly and then manually route it. But that's rare.
Can you report from Slack on how many times they've reassigned leads versus accepting them? Because I would think, they're probably going to cherry pick.
So they can't cherry pick because the lead comes to them directly. And so once they get a lead, they accept it, or one of the other three disqualify, reassign to only another SDR in a different region.
Okay.
Or low fit it. So there's no cherry pick, like they can't cherry pick.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another, did you have another question? No, I was going to say something, but I forgot. Yeah, so thank you guys. Any more questions?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Are you using this for outbound also?
We are not using this for outbound. So our primary source of revenue right now is inbound. 80% is inbound. And so right now we're building out outbound and we're just learning the ropes. So if you have ideas, come. I'd love to hear them.
I actually am curious about, is there a way to tie maybe Gmail responses to LeadBot? That
Gmail responses to
let's say I'm
LeadBot.
outbounding,
Yeah.
whether I'm using Gmail or Microsoft or Outlook, whatever it might be. I outbound to someone.
Yeah.
LeadBot tells me, hey,
That
your
person-
prospect replied, and can then maybe even the application can then read
That's a
something.
really good idea. We don't have that built out yet, but I'm writing it down in my mind right now. Okay, thank you, everyone.